Welcome to Think About It, where we discuss important issues impacting our society. My name is Rick. Once again, we're happy to have you with us. Today, our topic is why are relationships so hard? I mean, if you look around our world, man, especially like nowadays, relationships are hard. You know, like in the '60s, I think they had this era of free love. We thought that we were able to love and all that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, we rejected a lot of norms in the past. In the past we had arranged marriages. We had a lot of different things, restraint around romantic love. And we look in the past. We're like, you know what? The way these people were having their relationships, they weren't loving enough. They were forced. We say that okay, like there were not many divorces in the past because the women weren't working. The society wouldn't permit a woman to get divorced, etc., etc., etc. So we think that nowadays we are better because nowadays there are no restraints, right? You can live with someone if you want to. You can do whatever you want to do in terms of romances nowadays, right? But at the same time, we're noticing that people are lonelier than ever. We notice that relationships are not working. We notice that a lot of people are single, a lot of divorces, a lot of this and that, right? So why is it that relationships are so hard now when we claim to be so free? We claim to be so free, right? One of the reasons I think relationships are so hard is because we approach relationship from an empty cup type of way, right? For example, a man is looking for a woman as to what the woman can give me. And the woman is looking towards a man as to what the man can give me. So a lot of times we come into relationship, and I'm not just talking about romantic relationships here. I'm speaking about like even friendship. We come into relationship searching, seeking, not trying to give. And it becomes very difficult because if I come into a place empty and the other person is empty also, what are we going to get? What are we going to get? One other thing I was thinking about, right? As we know, spiritually speaking, that no man or woman can satisfy a person. And I thought, why is that? Why is it that no man or a woman or no created being can satisfy a person really? And I thought about it. I'm like, okay, why is it that God is the creator of all things, but why is it that God can satisfy his creatures? One of the first things we have to understand is that God is not looking to get from his creatures, but he's looking to give. God is full and he's looking to give. God is full and overflowing with love and is looking to give, right? So God is always looking to give love. He's always looking to uplift somebody else, right? And when God created man, he created man in his own image to be like him. So what does it mean to be like God? It's to give, to give. So Adam was supposed to give love to his wife, and his wife was supposed to give love back to Adam, right? In the Bible it says husband love your wife and wife submit to your husband, right? So that's how the wife give love. The husband show love, give love. The wife return love through submission. The same thing with God. God give us all that we have. He give us a life and etc., 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 right? And we return love to God through obedience. So relationship works when it's give and take. Give and take. So, for example, if I have a friend, if I want the relationship to succeed, if I have a friend, right, I have to, because I'm not God, I don't know every single thing. I don't know the person. God knows all things. God knows our upbringing. God knows our past. God knows our history, right? So God, because he's all-knowing, he's omniscient, he's able to address our needs without even us asking him for anything. But as a human being, it's different. It's interesting when you start a relationship with someone and you're having conversation and you're asking them about themselves, they're asking you about yourself, you feel love, you feel heard, right? So that's how it is. If I want to have a relationship with someone, if I want to have a friendship with someone, right? The first thing I have to look for is not what can I get from this individual. See, this is where we go wrong. If I'm saying what can I get from this individual, it's going to be disaster. But I have to approach the relationship and say, how can I be a blessing to the life of this individual? Like, what can I add to the life of this individual? What value can I add to their lives? Now imagine a man and a woman talking, and the man is like, man, I want to get to know her. I want to get to know who she is. I want to get to know her upbringing. I want to get to know why she is the way she is, right? So you're talking to that woman, you're asking her about her past, or you're asking her about who she is. You're asking about what hurt her, what make her happy, etc., etc. That person feel like you care about it, right? Because that person feel like, man, you're trying to get to know me. And we're not saying you're trying to get to know that person so you can take advantage of them. No. But let's say you're trying to get to know them, and you find out that they like taking a walk by the beach or whatever, right? And you take him by the beach. You know how loved that person gonna feel? Because they see that you are making the effort. Matter of fact, if you go out of your way to provide that for that individual, that person will feel like, man, you really care about me, right? Same thing too, if the woman is like, you know what, let me find out what he likes, let me find out who he is, and let me find out how I can provide value to that person's lives. Same thing in terms of career. If you find out, okay, your husband, he's a guy who likes to read, for example, right? He likes to read. And you care about him, right? You're not gonna be like telling him, hey, let's go play golf. No, you're gonna say, hey, look, honey, I have this book. I know this is a topic you're interested in. I just bought you this book. You want us to read it together? See, that even show more love, because not only now you bought the book for him, you know he likes to read a certain topic. Let's say he likes to read about finances, right? You bought him a book about finance, and yet you are actually participating with him in reading the book together. So guess what now? Now you guys have more things to talk about. And now you are more involved in his world. See, this is the key. This is how you build relationship, right? It's not just, okay, I want somebody to take care of me. I want somebody to make me feel happy. No, you have to be making the concerted effort for you to be someone who wants to make that person happy. See, and that's the thing. Love requires sacrifice. It's not just wanting that person to make you happy, but how am I going to make that person happy too? How am I going to be a blessing in that individual's life? And making the relationship work requires listening. A lot of us, we want people to listen to us, but we don't listen. If you don't listen to hear, if you don't listen to understand, you will never know the people you are dealing with. And if you don't know the people you are dealing with, you can't love them. You may claim to love the person, but they're not gonna feel love. They're not gonna feel love. This is why you find out, like I mentioned earlier, people always feel the most love at the beginning of a relationship. Because at the beginning of a relationship, we are, we have this excitement. So you're like, man, I can't, and I want to talk to you all the time on the phone. I want to do this, I want to do that. But after a while, we're like, man, I just want to do me. I just want this person to serve me. We think we are kings. We think we are queens. We think we are prince and princesses. And so we give up the effort and trying to continually grow with that person and trying to continually seek how to do good for that person. It's hard, man. It's hard to find someone whose goal is, how can I make this person's life better? Not how can I take from this person. And one thing is, if you're in a relationship and all you are trying to do is take from the other individual, all you want is for them to listen to you, but you don't listen to them. All you want is for them to do the things you want, but you don't want to do the things they want. All you want is for them to cater to you, have all this attention on you, but you're not doing that to them. You're never gonna feel love. You're never gonna feel love. You're always gonna feel like they're not giving you enough. You know why? It's because you are empty. You are empty. Like, you have nothing to give. And you start feeling love when you are more concerned about giving than receiving. Receiving, you will never receive enough. But when you give and you see how that person is delighted, you see how joy comes into that person, that will fulfill you. See, it's in bringing joy to others that we find fulfillment. That's what it is. But you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to sacrifice. Sometimes you may want to be the one talking, but the other person don't want to talk. You let them talk. You let them talk. Look, let me hear about your day. Well, how was your day? Not every single day you just don't want telling them about your day. No. Let me hear about your day. Right? See, so this is why relationships are so hard in our current society, because we have become so self-absorbed. We think that life revolves around me. It's me first. My mental health first. My well-being first. All these things. And I could care less about the other. But guess what? The other thing is them first too. They think their well-being is first. They think life is about them too. So now when you have two selfish individuals in any type of relationship, two self-centered individuals in any type of relationship, it's not going to work. And then we blame each other. We say, man, it didn't work because she was this and that, he was this and that. That's not true. It did not work because nobody was willing to put the effort necessary to make it work. That's why war began in heaven. See, God is all about giving. God was about giving love to his creatures. God is about providing for his creatures, right? And the creatures were giving back to God. They were giving back to God in obedience and in love, etc., right? But one of the creatures, Lucifer, he said, you know what? How about I just receive? How about I just receive? How about I just receive adoration? How about I just receive the praise of the angels and I keep it to myself? He destroyed the circle of love. He destroyed the band of unity. He destroyed relationship. And anyone who has that mindset, who is waiting to receive and not taking steps to give, to understand, right, to provide somebody for their needs, will break relationship. Will break relationship. And you will always be miserable. And you will always wonder, why is it that no one loves me? You may find somebody that show you the process. Now, I'm not saying you may never find somebody that love you, but if you find somebody that show you love, don't just wait to receive love continually. But try your best. Okay, how can I return love to this individual? And don't just show love the way you want. We speak about love languages, right? You may want love a certain way, but try to find out how does that individual want to be loved. And seek to give that person love. But one more thing we cannot escape, the most important thing, it can be exhausting if you're not receiving love from a deeper fountain, from God himself. So you have to seek love from God in order to be able to give love. And one thing I want to say, practically speaking, why do you think a lot of times younger, even women, like older men? Because a lot of times the older men have a lot of knowledge, especially in a society, probably have way more experience and know how to deal with women before. And so he's able to provide that younger woman more than a young boy who's same age as her is not able to provide. For example, let's say you courting somebody, right? And you're 20, they're 20. You have no understanding of relationship. You have no understanding of how things work. You may come to this person expecting them to fulfill you. And they don't know anything. They come into you expecting you to fulfill them. And so guess what? Frustration comes in. A lot of times, when somebody's older and they have more experience in life, they say, you know what? I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to provide for you. And you feel loved. We all want somebody who is seeking to take care of us in some way or in some way. And even as a man, if you're a man, you go in a relationship with a woman, you expect for her to support you. You expect for her to provide that peace, right? So you expect something from her. And the woman probably expects you to protect her emotionally, to provide for her financially. So when somebody's wiser, they know that life is not about taking, but it's about giving. See, when you're not wise, when you're foolish, you think life is about taking. So you go and try to rob, deceive people, whatever, but eventually you become miserable. And I'm speaking about every sense. If you are a business person, you're not seeking to provide for your customer, but you're seeking to rob them, eventually you're going to be out of business. Eventually you will be out of business. And you'll be miserable because you'll be fearful that somebody will find out what you're doing. But if your goal is to provide for the community's need, if your goal is to elevate other people, you will find true love. So relationships become successful when your goal is not simply to receive. It's not a problem to receive. When your goal is not simply to receive, but your goal is to give. As you give to others, they become more appreciative of you. And if they are wise, they will not just continue to drag from you, to get from you, to basically devour you. But they will say, you know what? This person has shown me love. This person has made a consistent effort to love me just the way I am. I am going to put in the effort. I am going to put in the work to try to love this person just the way they are. May God help me, because you will need God's strength. May God help me. And this is how you can have a good relationship. Yeah, I know sometimes, you may not match someone. You may not, no, we cannot be in a relationship with anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because different people have different personalities, and you may not match a person. But whoever it is that you match, the relationship will not be able to be maintained unless you are willing to sacrificially seek to do what's good for that individual. So once again, this is Think About It, and I am